Okay, so I'm back. This is part 2. You know, I realized that the very last videos that I released, it also was in 2 parts. And so I promise that I am not going to keep having 2-part videos. I'm really going to learn how to talk faster or get my thoughts together or something. I don't know. Also, I just, took a look at the first few minutes of the part 1 of the video and I noticed that I'm blinking a lot. But I think it's because I'm doing this on my laptop, and so the camera is, it's up above my head kind of. So, and there's a fan going on. Okay, so I'm spending my time, I feel like I'm looking up and my eyes are open, and then this fan is blowing air into my eyes, and so it's causing me to blink a lot. And so I'm trying not to blink a lot, but I don't know. If it bothers you, just listen to the sound of my voice and don't look at my face with my blinking eyes. Okay, so back to my story. Where was I? So basically, I had turned into the type of workout person that I wanted to. I was doing races and 5Ks and, enjoying working out and going to the gym. Oh, yeah, I had hired a trainer yet again. I've done that many times in my life. But yeah, so yet again, I had hired a trainer. Um, I thought that I had everything all figured out. So, as planned, though, after 1 year, I stopped Metafast because I still had quite a ways to go, and it's fake food. What is in these packets? I didn't like the idea of eating this fake food for a long period of time. And so to me, a year was a long period of time, but it was just working so well and it was so easy that, I just kept going. But the year was my limit. So I stopped Metafast after a year, and then I immediately started Weight Watchers. And actually, when I started Weight Watchers, I also started a new blog because that first blog was, 1 year to a new me. So then I had a second blog, you can see here, cooking and racing my way to goal weight. And so, and here's the back. Can't. You can see me there. So basically, in this blog, and this one I actually made open to the public, but it's not open to the public now. I chronicle my races and my Weight Watchers and recipes and it's like this was my second year, and so I decided that I was going to repeat all the races that I did the first year and beat my times, and then start including new races. However, from the day I stopped Metafast, even though I had started on Weight Watchers, I immediately started gaining weight. It was very slowly, like a pound a week, something like that, a pound every other week. And, of course I noticed this and I'm like, what can I do? I tried paleo, I tried the Whole30, which is not really a diet, but I did do it for 30 days, which I, chronicle in my blog, and I've actually kept all my recipes. I eat some of those meals now. But anyway, I was really just struggling with trying to maintain that my low weight. I got down to 193. I'm not sure if I ever said that. So I got down to 193, but then almost immediately I started coming back up again. But I was just still, focused that I thought that, if I just stay consistent, if I eat well, and if I work out, eventually the weight will come off. That didn't happen. The weight just kept coming on slowly, slowly, pretty much for, let's say so, but then we're in 2013, so for about a year I was struggling with, my weight was like in the 220s. And then I started doing some traveling. I went to Italy, I went to Vegas one too many times. And see, previously when I was on Medifast, when I would travel, as soon as I would come back from my travel, the Medifast diet is so strict that I would immediately lose whatever I might have gained while I was traveling. But doing Weight Watchers and paleo or whatever, I mean, none of those were the right diet for me or strict enough for me that would help me gain the weight that I would gain every time I went on vacation. So pretty much, every time I would go on vacation, I would add a few more pounds on that then I wasn't able to get off. So, so I'm struggling to do that, but I'm still enjoying being active with my races and running and, well, I never ran more than a mile without stopping on my treadmill. I never could run for more than a mile. I never could run even for a mile outside. But on my treadmill, I could run for a mile without stopping. Um, so I was in the middle of struggling, trying to get this weight off. And then in 2014, while I had gone to a fitness spa with a friend, St. Red Mountain Spa in St. George, Utah. I go there quite often. It's a beautiful spa. They have hiking, they have classes all throughout the day. This is actually the same spa that I went to years ago that used to be called the Franklin Quest Institute of Fitness. And over the years its names have changed and it's been bought out by different owners, and I've gone many times over the years, like maybe 10 times, as it's had different owners. But now it's called Red Mountain Resort and Spa. So look that up because it's a fantastic spa. So I had gone to the spa because I wanted to kickstart my workout efforts, and it was while I was at the spa, actually doing a very, very strenuous water aerobics class, that I fractured my heel spur. I didn't know that I had two really large heel spurs, but I did, and I fractured one. And so I ended up having to wear a boot for about 4 months for that heel spur, for the fracture to heal. So then during that time that I was wearing the boot, I got depressed. And while I got depressed, I started eating because I was feeling sorry for myself, because here I was, for the first time in my life, I wanted to work out, but I was stuck in this boot. But then, so I just kept waiting for the day. I didn't regain back all my weight. I just, regained a lot. I just regained back a lot of weight while I was waiting for the boot to come off. Well, when the boot finally came off in January of 2015, I still could barely walk. I was still in pain. And the podiatrist had told me that basically my heel spurs are so large that, first of all, I might be prone to fracture them over and over again. Just the slightest little hitting them on something could cause them to fracture. And then second of all, I may or may not continue to be in pain after I get the boot off, and that really the only thing that can be done is surgery. So, I was determined that I wasn't going to have have surgery. And so for the next few months after I had gotten the boot off, I'm struggling to try to, increase my steps, trying to walk. And then one morning, I sound like a broken record or something. One morning I wake up in the middle of the night, I feel like my bed is on fire. I mean, I literally jump out of my bed and I'm like looking around trying to figure out where is the fire coming from. My body, my legs were on fire. That was the start of me having to deal with really horrible neuropathy in my legs. Burning, tingling, stinging, horrible pain shooting down my legs. I couldn't lay on my back. I couldn't lay on my stomach. Actually, even laying on my side hurt. I could barely even walk. I went to an urgent care center. They put me on, all these different medications. Nothing helped. I finally went to a chiropractor and I had some x-rays done. And basically what we figured out was that, you see, I work from home. And so during the time that I was wearing that boot, well, I didn't wear anything else on the other foot. If you've ever worn these boots before, they're really high up off the ground. And so basically, I was wearing, the boot on one foot and then hopping around my house with my bare foot because I don't wear shoes unless I have to. And I don't wear shoes in my house. So I had messed up my spinal alignment. At all this weight, hopping around for months, yeah, I had messed everything up with my back and my spine. And, it's taken a lot of work going to the chiropractor. Basically, I would go in and I would see the physical therapist and we'd work with physical therapy. And then I would go to the nurse practitioner and I would get these trigger point injections. And then they had a massage therapist there that would massage in the injections. And then I would have an adjustment by the chiropractor. I started off going 4 times a week and then eventually got down to 3 times a week, and then twice a week, and then once a week, and then every other week. And now, a year later, I still go, but I go once every 3 weeks to keep me under control. And basically, I'm like 95% cured from that. I still have issues sometimes if I stand too long. Sometimes if I lay on my back too long, so I really can't sleep on my back anymore, which kind of worries me about the surgery because I think people have said that they can't sleep on their side. I don't know about that, but perhaps the more weight that I lose before the surgery, that will help that out. So yeah, so while I was dealing with that is when I regained all the rest of my weight. And then went up to 285, which then became kind of like my new set point weight. It's like I've stayed now here at around 285 for the past few years. And I'm in pain. I'm still in pain from the bone spur. That's the reason why I was saying that my step goal is 3,200 steps. Before all this stuff happened, I was getting at least 10,000 steps a day. Like, that was my minimum. Some days I was doing more than that. And now, whenever I walk more than, because I wear a Fitbit. I have it on right now. I wear this Fitbit attached to my bra. You probably can't see it. I've pretty much worn this daily since 2011. Not this same Fitbit because they tend to break easily. It's my 4th Fitbit. But since 2011, I've had a Fitbit and I've been keeping track of my steps and things. I basically, if I walk like 4,000 or 5,000 steps, then I'm in terrible pain the rest of the evening. I'm limping. And then I often wake up the next day still limping. And so that's why I can't really do a lot of physical activity. But I've been using that as an excuse. I've been doing nothing really except for eating and being miserable. Let's see, I'm up to 15 minutes. I haven't been doing anything. I could have been working my upper body all this time and I never did that. And I never even figured out like what the minimum amount of steps are that I can do without being in pain. So that's what I've been doing recently. I've been trying to figure out what is, well, not the minimum, what's the maximum number of steps I can do without being in pain. And so right now I'm getting up to 3,200. That's like the max that I can currently do without being in pain. I recently went back to my podiatrist again. It was kind of embarrassing. I go in and of course they want to know, why are you here? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have this, my bone spur in the spur in my heel, it hurts. And they're like, oh, well, how long have you been in pain? And I'm like, since January of 2015 when the boot came off, I just never came back again. Yeah, instead I just sat on my couch and complained about being in pain. I guess because I knew, because he said that he said that there's really nothing else that could be done except for surgery. Now he did say that maybe a cortisone shot would help, but maybe it wouldn't, just because my spur, I have two of them, they're very large. And so, this time I went in and I was so desperate that I'm like, okay, I'm ready to try this steroid shot. Plus I wanted him to, look at it on x-ray just to make sure that somehow I hadn't fractured it again. I just don't understand why I'm in so much pain. And so I don't have another fracture, but I have a callus or something that's now starting to form around the bone spur, which is making it very painful. And see, the bone spur is attached to the muscle, the tendon in my heel. So basically every time I flex my foot or bend my ankle, do I keep saying heel? This is in my ankle. It is in my ankle. It's an ankle spur. And so basically, every time I move my ankle or bend my ankle, the bone is pulling on the tendon, which is causing all this inflammation and swelling. So he gave me a steroid shot. So this was just a week and a half ago that I went and I got a steroid shot for the first time ever. And man, did that hurt. I mean, it hurt for days. And even now, a week and a half later, I'm not sure that it's really made any difference. Yeah, the jury is still out on that. I mean, maybe, like on a scale 1 to 10, like maybe a half a point better. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm very disappointed because I want to be able to walk, and I don't want, he said at the surgery, it's a very long recovery because he has to cut through the muscle. And so he said I would be completely off of my foot for like 8 weeks. And, now that I'm getting ready to have this surgery, I can't be having this foot surgery anyway. I mean, it's going to have to be next year if I do it. Well, I think I'm going to have to do it because I need to be able to walk and I want to resume my activities. I actually want to get back to running and want to get back to racing. I mean, those are things that it's like a sport that I finally enjoy. And so that is one of the reasons why I'm having this weight loss surgery, is because, first of all, I give up with dieting. I mean, the only thing that really seems to work for me, besides Atkins, is the MetaFast. Yet, if I do the MetaFast again, once I stop it, what's going to keep me from regaining the weight again? I no longer believe that I will be able to keep the weight off. And so, really, the reason that I want weight loss surgery is to help me maintain my weight. I know how to lose the weight. I just can't keep it off. And so, I mean, of course, now that I'm fat again, I need the surgery to help me lose this weight. But most of all, I need the surgery so that I can keep the weight off. And I'm scared of what's going to happen next. I mean, you know, even when I was 320 pounds, I didn't have back pain. I didn't have any medical issues. And so now my blood pressure has been creeping up. Um, my cholesterol is starting to creep up. My blood sugar is starting to creep up, on my lab tests. And, it's like I'm getting older every day. And I feel like, I never know what's going to happen next. Ever since that horrifying moment of waking up and feeling like my bed is on fire, I constantly feel that, what's the next thing that's going to happen? When am I going to wake up and what? I've had a stroke or a heart attack or what, because of my weight. And so, when I was trying to lose weight in high school or in my 20s and maybe even in my early 30s, I was mostly doing it for looks and so that I could do things that I can't, so I can get around better and to, fit into airplane seats and things like that. But now, the majority of the reason that I am doing this surgery and the reason I want to lose my weight is for my health, to improve my current health and to help me avoid what might be coming because I've been carrying this weight for so long. And then, of course, looks matter. But really, I want to get back to this new active life that I had started to build. I mean, I never even thought that that would be me. Never. I never even wanted to be active, really. I mean, I just wanted to be thin but not actually do anything and to be able to eat whatever I wanted. But I didn't really want to work out or anything like that. And so the fact that I actually enjoy something, I want to get back to it. Even after all this time has now passed, I still want to get back to it. So, that is my long story why I want weight loss surgery, and I'm just going to stop talking right now so this doesn't get long again, and I have my cardiologist appointment is next week, so I will check in with you guys again next week after my cardiologist appointment. Bye.